Let's talk about still another way of making our students prepare for writing. And this is by asking of themselves WH's questions. This idea is good for longer pieces of writing. What do we tell our students to do if we go by this technique? We should tell them to, 1, write down some questions about the topic, such as who, what, where, when, why, how. 2, think of as many questions as you can. Let's look at a sample list of WH's questions. 1, what is the problem? 2, who are affected by it? 3, what is causing the problem? 4, where is the problem at its worst? 5, how can the problem be resolved? 6, when is the best time to resolve it? You can imagine the enormous answers a student can give to those questions. The activity can certainly generate a lot of ideas, can't it? Let's listen to Liza's thoughts as she thinks aloud on the topic, taking the first plane ride.
What things will I take with me? Do I need the money to buy a new pair of pants? How about a new pair of traveling shoes? When will I buy my plane ticket? Who will take me to the airport? How will I behave inside the plane? Do they serve food inside the plane? What food should I take with me so that I won't go hungry?
Once again, can you imagine the enormous data Liza can incorporate by merely asking of herself those questions? Another example of a brainstorming activity is cubing. Cubing is brainstorming activity where students generate ideas individually based on a given set of guidelines. Take a look at this classroom scene where a teacher asks her students to brainstorm on a topic using cubing.
Class, could you give me once again the topic which we would talk about today? Do you remember? Yes, Mark?
I think we opted for the topic smoking, the great killer.
Yes, I think so too. Well, today, class, I would like you to write down as many things as possible regarding the topic smoking. Okay? But please, be guided by the following guidelines. Here are the guidelines. They're written on the board. First, describe it. Okay? You can ask questions like, what does it look like physically? What do you see? How does it smell, feel, taste, sound? Okay? And then after that, compare it. What is it similar to? What is it different from? Class, do you follow? Afterwards, analyze it. What is it made of? What are its parts? How are they arranged? Okay? Afterwards, associate it. What does it remind you of? What do you associate it with? What stories, events, or situations come to mind when you think of it? Okay? And then for the 5th guideline, apply it. What can you do with it? What can you use it for? What unusual applications can you think of for it? And lastly, argue for or against it. You can take any position. Actually, you can give any reason you can think of, even crazy funny ones. Okay? Now class, get your pen and paper. You may now get your pen and paper. And remember please to refer to the guidelines. The questions are now written on the board.
That was cubing, a brainstorming activity where individual students are motivated to generate ideas based on a given set of guidelines. there is no reason why they can't come up with compositions. Let's go back to the classroom and listen to Jeffrey as he reads his work to the class.
Jeffrey, I can see that you have written a lot of things about the topic smoking the great killer. Would you like to read your work in front of your classmates?
Sure, ma'am.
Kindly come forward and then read your work. Class, as you listen to Jeffrey, relate the parts of the composition to the guidelines written on the board. Okay, are you ready, class?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Jeffrey, we now begin.
Smoking is indeed a sure killer. One stick of cigarette contains a lot of tar and nicotine, the very elements that can kill the active, more so the passive smokers. I do not know why so many of my friends smoke. For one, I don't like its smell. It gets into my nose. Neither do I like its taste. I felt like throwing up once my friend asked me to taste it. You can imagine the elements that go into one stick of cigarette: tar and nicotine, and maybe others. One stick times 24 sticks a day times 365 days of the year times 50 or 60 birthdays, one will certainly die by the time he reaches his or her 61st birthday. If one wants an easy way out, he or she had better start at an early age. But who among us wants to die young?
That was very good, Jeffrey. Thank you very much. Shall we give him a big hand, class?
Wasn't that great? If teachers would only realize how important it is to make their students go through pre-writing activities, then they will not have any problem of asking their students to put in the appropriate content in their compositions. Yet, still another brainstorming activity which is done individually is called mapping. It is similar to clustering and cubing because it enables the learner to generate ideas on his own. It likewise allows the learner to let his imagination run free based on a given topic. Look at this sample set of items generated by the topic, My Brother. My brother, tall, 25 years old, handsome, fair, complexion, eyes brown, has a beard, hair is black, he is single, he is skinny, he is gentle and kind, he is sensitive, he is affectionate. Sometimes he is childlike, he is calm and quiet, he loves me very much, he is my best friend. My feelings for my brother, I love him so much I am his best friend now. I am sad because he is not with me. He is married with one baby girl, but I still love him. What else will students ask for? Don't they have enough data to write about? Do you now realize how important it is to make our students go through pre-writing activities before they do actual writing? We will make a recap of what we have discussed so far when we return. Stay tuned.